let's begin. 53b, towards the end, he said in the Mishnah that wine comes at the end of the meal. If you drink it right away, if you save it for some nothing. Then it says that you respond to name when a Jew makes a bracha, and not when a Kuti makes a bracha, unless you hear the whole bracha.
Excuse me. There were 2 lines above there. Hare Masahu.
Oh, yeah, I marked the wrong thing. So we said, I'm sorry, you have to go back a few lines. Until when are you allowed to bench? If you leave the place, we're talking about Machlekes Bisul B'Shamay, if you have to go back. I'm Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan says, "Calls my trainer Rav." As long as he's not hungry again. If he's hungry again, that means he's digested the food. As long as he's thirsty from the food that he ate, that would mean that he's still involved in digesting it. And then he can still bench. One of these said to Marzutra, did Rish Lakish really say that until you're still thirsty? How long is the time of digestion? It says, which may be 72 minutes. Yeah, that's where you got that amount of time from. Maybe 72 minutes. The Gemara says, like kasha. It's not a question. Okay. But if it's a large meal, then you have 72 minutes. But a small meal, then you don't have that amount of time. You have the amount of time that you're thirsty, or that was he said, or the first opinion, which was if you're not hungry. Okay. Well, and if wine comes in the middle of the meal, etc., we said that you can only respond amen to a bracha that was made by a Jew. But if it's made by a Kuti, then you have to hear the whole bracha. The Meimra, does this mean to say, the Yisrael, that if it comes to a Jew, that a Jew says a bracha, he responds to the whole bracha. He responds, even though he didn't hear the whole bracha. But if he didn't hear it, how is he yaitza? We're assuming here that he's trying to listen to the bracha because he wants to be yaitza the bracha. Amar Chia Barav, he doesn't want to be yaitza the bracha. He just wants to respond to me. He doesn't need to hear it. The question is, are you allowed to say, I agree? I mean, it's like all in favor say aye. So he says, amen. That's so it should be. And is he allowed to say that if a non-Jew says the bracha? Only if he says, a Kuti says the bracha. Only if he hears the entire bracha. If a Jew says the bracha, then he's allowed to say amen. We're not discussing if he's being yaitz or not. Menachem also says in the name of his father-in-law, he's not eating together with this person. He doesn't need to fulfill the obligation of the blessing. It's just the question is, can he respond to me? Rav tells his son Chia. Take a look at our charts. We have 2 children here. Rav tells Chia, Chia bar Rav is not on the chart. And Rapuna, the Rabbi Bray, and Rapuna, who's the student of Rav. We don't have this Rabbi bar Rapuna. We have Rabbi bar Nachman. We don't have Rabbi bar Rapuna on the chart. He also tells his son, I'm sorry, I skipped what he said. He says, Chatayf Vrech. Bri, he says first. He says, my son, Chatayf Vrech. You should grab the opportunity to lead the benching. That's what you should choose. And Rav Huna says to Rabbi's son, Also, chatayf avrich, grabbed opportunity to bench. The Gemara asks, Lameima de mevarich adif. You mean to say that the one that says the blessing is better, mimanda ani amen, and the one that responds amen? But we have a Brachos. Rabbi Yosi Yomer. Rabbi Yosi says, Tana Rabbi Yosi ben Chalafta, the student of Rabbi Akiva. He says, Gadol ha'ina amen, Yosi min mevarich. It's greater to respond amen than the one that says the blessing. Amalei Rab Neirai says, Hashemayim kain. Hashemayim kainu. Like by heaven. That's true, 100% true. Teda, I'll bring you a proof. Shari Gulairin, Yarden and Maskarim ben Muhammad. The common soldiers, they go and they start the battle. The Gibarn Yarden and Menachem. But then the elite, they come in at the end and they take the victory. So the common people, they say the bracha. But the elite respond amen. See, it's greater to respond amen.
Your life hasn't changed.
You mean since then?
Yeah, life is still the same.
There were these
people come in after and take credit.
These generals, they said like Pompey would come in at the end and after everyone else did he would do the cleanup and he would finish it off and take all the credit and come back. Be celebrated, right? That was like a big thing. Celebrating he would come in at the end.
Got the collar.
Okay.
What?
Got the collar.
Yeah.
Tanaihi. It's actually a machlekes Tanaim. What's greater? The Tanya was taught in a Brisa. Whether the one that says the blessing or whether the one that says the response, the Amen, the Mashma, they go together. In other words, this is a quote from the pasuk that says, "Kumu Brachos Hashem Alekechem." Get up and bless Hashem your God, and it says, "Vayivarchu Hashem Kaveidecha." So it says, "Kumu Barchu." That's the beginning of the bracha. "Vayivarchu Hashem Kaveidecha." That's the Amen. It says both of them are included in this. But the reward goes to the one that says the bracha quicker than the one that responds. Okay, so we have two versions. Faster, sooner.
Yeah.
He said the bracha. So
But does that mean you say it fast?
No, he says the reward goes to the one that says the bracha sooner.
Right.
The reward goes sooner to the one that says the bracha slowly.
The award goes to the person that says amen, right?
No, according to this Brisa, the reward, they both get a reward. But who gets the reward first? The one that says the bracha. I'm not saying to say the bracha fast. The reward goes faster to the one that says the bracha. That's according to this version. What we're saying is that it's a machlekes Tanaim. There's an argument which one is greater, the one that says the bracha or the one that responds amen. Here we see the one that says the bracha. The first price was the one that responds amen. This is not so common. Shmuel and Rav, they lived in the same country. They lived in different places, but they met on occasion. Shmuel asks Rav, can you respond amen when children say the bracha? Amalei, Rav responds, you can respond amen to anyone, but not to children in the school, in the cheder. Because they're just practicing. They're just reciting it for practice. That's when they're not saying the haftarah. But if they're saying the haftarah, then you're allowed to. That means because it was a custom for the children to recite the haftarah. That means that was
something that's us, they're making it sound like you're allowed to, you're not allowed to. Allowing music and all that.
Yeah, I don't know why it says it like that.
How do you do chinuch? We will see other kids to on you.
Uh-huh.
No. We ask the head mechanic for this.
Whoa.
Charles Bronson, a mechanic.
Yiddish dictionary.
I don't know the ins and outs of this. Okay. Taner Rabbanan. Shemen makiv bracha. Oil holds back from saying the bracha. That means that you don't bench until you have the oil. The oil would take away the smell from the hands. We do mayim achreinim. We don't do the oil. We just wash the hands. But it was a custom back then that some people would use oil after the mayim achreinim. So if you don't have the oil yet, if you didn't bring the oil, then you don't bench. Take away the smell from the foods. Look at these names over here. I looked up Naftali and the Sefer that he gave me. These names. This is like a basis for the whole theory there. Maritzchias claims that there are certain names that are only found once in the Gemara, and they sound like the statement of the person of what the person said. And he says that these are nicknames, pseudonyms that are given because of the statement. They're not the real names. So look at this. The Shemen Makavas Bracha Div Rab Zilai. These are the words of Rab Zilai. I don't know exactly what Zilai means. But Rab Zivai Rab Zivai says no, it's not a problem. Rav Acha Mer Shemen Taif Makav. Rav Acha says good oil, like perfumed oil, with spices, herbal oil. That does stop from saying the bracha. Yeah, in other words, until you have it, you don't bend. Rav Zuhumay Yomer. Zuma sounds like spoilage or something. Shem Sham Mizuam Pasal Avayda, just like someone that's disgusting is should not do the service. So too, hands that are disgusting.
It's like you can't say that.
Yeah, but we mentioned the shach that says nowadays we do. That says so too, hands that are disgusting, that are smelly, they passel the bracha. I'm Rav Nachman. Someone was listening, right? Rav Nachman says, "I know lazy loy, lazy voy, lazy zoma yadana. I don't know any of these people. Not Zivoy, Ziloy, or Zumai. Alamasnisi Yadana, I know a Bais. We had it once in I forget, in Chulin or somewhere. We said, Loy Chilik, Loy Bilik Yadana. Someone said something, and he said, I don't know Chilik, I don't know Bilik, but that was like, whatever. Remember that quote? Okay, I know a Brisa. The Amr Rav Yudah Marav, Amr Rav Masni Satana. Rav Yudah says the name of Rav, and some say it was taught in the Brisa. This Kadishtem, you will sanctify, you will be sanctified. You will sanctify yourselves. Reflexive. His Kadishtem. Sanctify yourselves. Elamai Mishainim. This is the first word. Visam Kadishim, and you will be sanctified. Elamai Machainim. This is the after waters, which are what you wash your hands. Moshe says the Mayim Achreinim. No, he says he went to a Balshuba yeshiva. He says that's the place they teach you not to drink the Mayim Achreinim. Okay, so Mayim Achreinim is what you want after the meal. Kadesh, because holy is Shemen. This is referring to the oil. It's supposed to be ani, Kadesh ani, I think. It's supposed to be Kadishani because I am holy. Hashem and Ani Hashem Alekechem, I am Hashem Yugad Zubracha. This is the blessing. Okay.
It's interesting. In Chula, we learned a very different reason from
Yeah, we had the salt.
Salt,
Yeah, and here it's to say the bracha, to be clean. I think both reasons are taught. Oh, but look, Taisva says that only those that were accustomed to use to use melach sedaimus, but we don't have melach sedaimus, so we don't wash our hands after the meal. So washing isn't ma'akev the bracha. But those that do wash their hands, it is ma'akev. I don't know if that's the halacha. Where it says we're supposed to mayim achreinim feiva. But that was the expression in Chula, mayim achreinim feiva.
What does it mean, those who do it?
If that's your custom,
and then you
in
don't
those countries, and right, then you need to do it. Okay. This Mishnah that we're about to learn is actually the end of Masechta and Mishnayos. So today we'll finish the Mishnayos, but the Gemara goes on. There's like that in this parak. A lot of it's a lengthy, but it condensed the whole parak of Mishnayos into the first piece. Sometimes it separates it. Here it's put the whole parak right here. If someone sees a place that miracles happen to the Jewish people, like for example the crossing of the sea, or the place of the Yarden where they crossed, he says, blessed is the one that performed miracles for our forefathers, or for our fathers at this place. Place where idolatry was uprooted, destroyed. He says, blessed is the one that uprooted idolatry, idols from our land. Valazikin, Valzavois, those the Gemara is going to explain what they are. The article translating there. Earthquakes. Valaramim and thunder. Valaruchais is stormy winds, strong winds. Valabrakim and lightning. Later on, the Gemara is going to discuss this. We don't say on lightning, we say, but we'll see in the Gemara. Blessed is he that his power and strength fill the world. On the mountains and on the hills, and on the seas, and on the rivers. Important rivers, not the Snake Creek Canal. And on the deserts, blessed is, it's supposed to be Isabracious on the side. I have it correct.
I wouldn't put down Snake Creek so quickly. Where will we go for Tashlech?
Oh, wow, that's right. He's in the Snake Creek
Yeah, for a
Preservation
reason.
That's right. Rabbi Yehuda Aimer. It is man-made.
This thing here, canal, it's perfectly straight. The rivers are perfectly straight.
It's part of
Oh, boy, it's so swamp. We just carve it out.
It's man-made canal.
Man-made.
No, it's manatee.
You're all manatee.
Rabbi Yehuda Aimer. Rabbi Yehuda has an opinion. We've had several times in this Masechta that when you bless Hashem, you have to be very specific. Remember, by Mini Deshayim, by Mini Zerayim, he had more than just Bari Pri Adama. He says, if you see the Yamagadol, which could be translated as the Mediterranean, maybe it means the oceans, then you have to say, blessed is Hashem that created the great sea, the great ocean. This mantra, this is if you see it infrequently. You see it every day, you don't walk outside and say it. Okay. On rain, with it's needed, and a good news. Blessed is he that's good and does good. Al-Basuris Rois, or Shmoyis Rois, on bad tidings. Blessed is the true judge. Someone builds a new house, or he acquires new clothing. He says, blessed who has kept us alive in existence and caused us to reach this time. This was said on new clothing when we actually had new clothing made. Not when you go to a store and all the clothing is there and you just pick the one you want and walk out. You can do it several times a year or a month or whatever. But when clothing was a big deal, the tailor would come to the house, or you would bring the cloth that you purchased to the tailor, and you had a suit made, which was done for your wedding, and then maybe one later on or something for your kid's wedding. Then you said a bracha.
So we don't say,
Most people don't. Most people don't. No, there's some cipher that says that Shechina can never be said in vain, because if that's how you felt, then that's what I was told. I never saw it in sign, but But it's funny because we say shachinu on new fruits, but we don't say it on new clothing. It's like funny about that. Okay. Mevarich, because could be the
Land. Go eat your clothing.
Oh wow!
Believe me, you donate the food.
You wear the food
After you eat it.
So they have these new
Alligators.
They have these new plates that are made out of like bamboo, forks and things. Biodegradable. They can make clothing like that too. When you're done, you could eat it. Okay. The Miller talks about how the trees eat their clothing because over the winter it snows. It's like a blanket that protects the roots from the cold, and then in the spring it eats the clothing, it drinks the clothing, it eats its own blanket. You bless for bad things just like you bless for good things. And the Gemara is going to explain what this means. Even if there's a little bit of good in the bad, later outcome of good, you still say those blessings. In for the good, similar to if you would say a blessing on the bad. Someone that cries over something that happened already. That's a prayer in vain. An example of that would be the following. His wife is pregnant. And he says, it should be the will of Hashem that my wife should give birth to a male child. That's a prayer in vain because it's already there. Now that there's going to be a difference between which stage, but at a later stage, it's already determined. Someone's on the road. He hears crying, shouting from the city. He says, it should be the will of Hashem that it's not coming from my house. That's a prayer in vain. It's already, the crying is already happening. Whatever it is, it's either from his house or not from his house. But it doesn't switch by someone that goes into a city, has to pray twice. Once on his way in, once on his way out. Benazi says you have to pray 4 times. Why? Because you have to also give thanks for what already happened, and you also have to daven for the future. So you daven for the future, and then you thank Hashem that you made it in peace. And you daven for the future, and you thank Hashem. A person is obligated to bless over bad things, just like he's obligated to bless Hashem for good things. As it says in the pasuk, should love Hashem your God with all your heart. With all your heart. That's b'shnei yitzarecha, with both inclinations. B'yetzer toiv or b'yetzer hara.
How does that prove if you bless Hashem?
Not yet. That's going to come up in a moment. For good and bad,
yeah.
That's going to come up in a moment. That's the beginning. This is introduction.
You don't think that we have to bless Hashem for giving us Yetzer Hara as well?
Oh, that's a good shot. That's a good shot. I thought it's going to come in the future. That's very good.
Make it interesting. Give us a day off.
Very nice. That's a blessing too. I feel it with all your soul. I feel it even if he takes your soul, you have to love Hashem. With all your might. That's either with all your money. Another pshat. With all your might. With every measure that he measures for you, God measures for you, you should acknowledge him. It means you thank Hashem even for things that are not so good. Okay. The last point was the way I learned. That's the raya. That's where you see the good point. Person should not act lightly, frivolous behavior in front of the eastern gate, because that's corresponding. This is the eastern gate of Jerusalem. That's corresponding to the Kodesh HaKadoshim, because all the gates were like you'd be able to see over one and another. And they would do the Paraduma, could actually see into the Kodesh HaKodashim from the mountains across. Don't go in, don't enter the Temple Mount. The maklai, his stick, the menalai, with his shoes, and Dase is with his money belt, with the dust on his feet. No kapandaria. Don't make it a shortcut. I wonder if the Steinsaltz explains the word kapandaria. What is that? Yeah, it's a shortcut, but I'm wondering if he says, "Oh, this is a Greek word." Sometimes the Steinsaltz says he explains the language. Okay.
40 inference.
I'm sorry?
Fortiori inference.
Okay. Oh, a fortiori is a kavachaymer. And with the fortiori kavachaymer, is that used in logic? Okay. Oh yeah. In school they said when they study logic they say it's a fortiori type of logic.
He translates that as shortcut.
Shortcut. Okay. Uratika in Kavachaymer that you shouldn't spit on the Harabayas. Kol.
No, Lena.
That's where the whole question is.
Kol chaismei brachos shebemikdash. All conclusions of blessings in the temple hayaimrim ad ha'ilam. They would say, or min ha'ilam. Some say. They would say Baruch. How would it go? Baruch. Atah Hashem Alekei Yisrael Min Ha'ilam. That's what they would say. Mishakil Kol Tzedukim. Or maybe Minim. What does the Steinsaltz say? Does he say Tzedukim or does he say something else? Mishakil Kol. Does he say Haminim?
Tzedukim would be a Tosim.
Oh, Baitusim. Interesting. When the Tzedukim and the Baitusim, they corrupted, they came around. They said that there's only one world, this world. So then we blessed Hashem. The blessing was longer. It was Baruch Atah Hashem Elokei Yisrael Min Ha'olam V'ad Ha'olam. Another thing, and then they would conclude whatever they said, Shanyan Adas or whatever.
Only one world?
They said there's only one world.
What it says in the book.
About the Tzedukim and Bais.
I mean, only Olam Hazeh.
Says there's universe. And
No. It was what happened was the Jewish people would, in the time of the temple, we would have a long ending to each blessing. It wasn't just bless you Hashem. It would say, bless you Hashem, the God of Israel, from this world. Okay. Then the Tzedukim came around and they said, there's only one world. And they said, so we added on from this world to the next world to make sure that no one thinks that there's only one world. Okay.
like that.
So another institution was that you should ask, you should greet your friend with Hashem's name. Bais comes from Bais Lechem. When he says to the harvesters, Hashem Menachem. Hashem should be with you with Hashem's name. And they responded, Hashem. Hashem should bless you. It also says, Hashem Yimach Kibar Achayel. Hashem should be with you. Strong warrior. That's by Gidon. And it says, Al Taviz Ki Zikna Imecha. Don't be ashamed from your elderly mother, which is meaning old customs you should keep.
But we don't say when we say Shalom Aleichem.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened over here. What happened to that? Why we stopped? But anyway, that was instituted at least at that time. And also, a time to do for God to make void His Torah, which means that even though normally you shouldn't say Hashem's name, but there was a time that they instituted this because for the sake of Hashem to do this. Rav Nassan says, the to make void the Torah because of Eis Lasis Lashem, because of the time to do for God. Some say that the reason why we have Reb Nosson here, even though it's exactly the same point, is because we wanted to finish the Perek, Mishnayos Perek, with Eis Lasis Lashem, not with the words Hikari Terah. Finish up on the good part, time to do for Hashem. How do you know that you have to thank Hashem or to praise Hashem for miracles? Amar Rabbi Yechanan, it says Damakra, it says in the pasuk by Yomi Yisrei says, Baruch Hashem Asher Hitzol, blessed is Hashem that saved you. Anisa Rabbi Mevarchinan, Anisa Yachlei Mevarchinan. You only bless Hashem for miracles that were done for the community and not for individual miracles. There was a fellow because Yamina, that he was going on the right side of the river. Euphrates probably Nafal gets attacked by a lion. Zabed Nisa, the miracle happens this the Istzel Minay, and he was saved from it. Asal Kami de Rava comes to Rava. Amalei, Rava told him, Kolemas Tamatas Lahasam. Whenever you go to that place, Baruch, you should bless. Baruch Shasal Nes Makamazeh. Blessed is Hashem that performed a miracle for me at this place. So you see, you have to recite a blessing even for a private, individual miracle. Marbri, the Ravina, because of the Paksa, the Aravis. Mar, the son of Ravina, was going in a forest of Aravis, of willows. Tzachalamai is very thirsty. Sabed Nisa, a miracle happens, and Nivale Ena Demaya Vishti. A spring of water appears, and he drank. The Suzim Nachad, another time, Avikazal Barastika. Rustica. What is Rustica?
Iranian Rustic, in a straight line. Talmudic.
Costco. Huh? Costco. Yeah. Stores. Rustico de Mechuzah. It's a shopping center.
District of Vitrich.
Of Mechuzah. It's like a store area of Mechuzah. Benafale Gamla treats in a wild camel comes to attack him. Sparkle Ashisa, the wall opened up. Alagabe, he went inside. Kimata, okay, fine. So Kimata La Ravis, when he came to the willows, Baruch, he blessed Baruch Shasan Nes Ravis of a Gamal. Blessed is Hashem that performed miracles for me with the willow and with the camel. Kimata Laristika, the Mechuzah, when he came to the store area, the shopping center, Costco of Mechuzah, Baruch, he said, Baruch Shasan Nes B'Gamal of Ravis. Blessed is Hashem that did miracles for me with the camel and with the willows.
Is this before or after checking this?
Well after.
Well after. So since one can make our own Russians of bracha. I mean, I can understand making a bracha.
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Any more trophies available? Maybe the maybe it has like a template that you can add in. Maybe that's the shot.
That looks good.
Insert. Replace an animal. Insert an animal. Okay. Amri, they said, okay, so we have a question here. Anisa the Rabbin Kula Yamra What we said was that if it's a community miracle, yeah, everyone has to say the bracha. But if it's a private miracle, then only that individual needs to say the bracha, not everyone. Not everyone that goes to those places needs to say a bracha. Blessed is the one that performed the miracle from Mar Breder Avino with the camel. It's only your own place. We do this. We have places that different things in my family. We say a bracha at certain places. An accident or something. Taner Rabbanan was taught in a brisa. Haraya Mavri Sayam. Someone sees the crossing, the place of the crossing of the Red Sea. Mavri Sayardin, the place of the crossing of the Jordan. Mavres Nachlei Arnai, the place of the crossing of the stream of Arnai. Well, the Gemara is going to explain what that is. Avnei Algavish, the hailstones of Algavish. The murdered Bais Chayran. In the does it say the? How do they translate murdered? Ascent. Ascent. Was it? The descent of Bais Chayran. We'll see. Yeah. Descent. The Evan should be Kishlis Rekag Melech Habashan al Yisrael, and the stone that Oig Melech Habashan wanted to throw on the Jewish people. The Evan Shiyashav Le Moshe B'Shas Shasi Yeshua Melchama B'Amalek, and the stone that Moshe sat on when Yeshua was waging war with Amalek.
But right now we don't know what those old guys did. Do we or not?
In the Gemara they said if you go there and you see it, the Ishtei Shalait, someone sees the wife of light. The Chaymas Yericha Shnibel Bim Kaima, or the wall of Yericha that was swallowed. Al Kulam, and all of them search Yit in Aida B'Shavach L'Knei Amakim. You have to give praise to Hashem. We understand when the crossing of the sea, the Jewish people came in the middle of the sea in dry land. The crossing of the Jordan. It says, the Kainim stood in there. Everyone crossed in the dry land until the whole nation crossed over the Yarden. The Kainim stood there, and then they stepped out, and the waters went back. But what's the passing of the stream of Arnon? What happened there? It says, Pasuk says, therefore it was said in the book of the wars of Hashem, Es Vahiv Besufa. Tana was taught in a Brisa, Es Vahiv Besufa is Shnei Mitzrayim Hayu. These are two lepers, two Mitzrayim. They were at the outside of the camp of Israel, Besufa, on the outside. And one's name was Es, and one's name was Hav. Es and Hav. Yisrael, when the Jewish people were crossing by, also the Amoraim came, Abdulu Nikirusa. They made clefts, like caves in the mountain. The Tashubain, and they hid in them. Amri, they said, Kichalfi Yisrael, Hacha. When the Jewish people pass by here, Naktalinain, we'll kill them. We'll throw things down on them. They didn't know the Aron have a mask kamei the Israel that the ark goes in front of the Jewish people, and it would flatten mountains in front of them. They're hiding over there. They didn't know that there's this big bulldozer, figurative. The Aron that would flatten the mountains. Kiyasa Aron, when the Aron comes, adbakaturi bahadi adadi. So the way it was, the mountains were that they were in a cleft over here, and the other side had a protrusion. The mountains came together. So, right. We cut linen and killed them. And then the blood seeps down into the valley of Arnon. When Es and Vahiv came, you see the blood, the kanafik and benituri coming out of the bottom of the mountain. The blood flowing out of the Yisrael. They came and they told the Jewish people, V'amru Shira, they said song, they sang a song. I know the tziv, Ve'eshed hanacholam asher natal l'sheves ar, V'nishan l'gbol mayav. I'm going to translate that passage. And the outpouring of the canyons when it feared to dwell at Ord and leaned against the border of Mayav. Okay. Avnei Algavish. What are the hailstones? My Avnei Algavish. What are the stones of Algavish? Tana. Started in a Bais. Avanim Shamdu Algavish. The stones that remained standing. Algav means on the back of, but it also means because of. Because of a man, Biyardu Algavish. And they also came down because of a man. Amdu Algavish. They stood because of a man. Zem Moshe. That's referring to Moshe Tiksivish, Moshe of Maid. Because it says Moshe is a man, a humble man, the most humble. And the thunder and the hail stopped. Umatar in the rain. The hail and the rain did not reach the ground. That means when he stopped it, it stood mid-air. Now, Yardu al Gavish, but it came down because of a man, say Yeshua, that's referring to Yeshua. Except Yeshua ben Nun Ishisharuach, by take Yeshua ben Nun, the man that is spirit in him, the Amorite kings were running from the Jewish people. They're in the descent of Bais Chayran. Hashem threw on them these great stones, which is the stones that were still in the air from the time of Moshe, because when the plague stopped, they were still up there. Probably going like this. Right? Right. But it continues. Evan Shabiki Shaykh Melech Habashal Nizrek Al Yisrael, the stone that Aik wanted to throw on the Jewish people, Gemara Gemirala. This is the tradition. Amar, he said, Machan Yisrael Kamavi. How big is the Jewish camp? It's Lasa Parsi. It's 3 parsas. It's a measurement. I think it's 3,000 amas each, or 2,000 amas each. How much is a parsa? 2,000 or 3,000? I think it's 2,000 amas. So remember, 2 or 3,000 amas. And there's 3 of them. Ezel, Viaka, Tura, Bar, 3 parsas. So 3 by 3, so then it's 9. No, it's 9. He takes a stone. They were 3 parsas, so they're 9 parsas.
It's 2.4 and 2.9 miles apart.
So he takes a mountain that's 3 parsas. That's 9 parsas. I'm sorry. That's 9,000 amas. That's 3 parsas. Vishti alayu. And he's going to throw it on them. Baklino, and he's going to kill them. Also, he goes, Akar Tura Bartlas Parsi. He uproots a mountain that's 3 parsas. Vaisi al Reshe. He carries it on his head. Vaisi Kuchabricho alay. God comes over. The God comes things. Kamtse, worms. The Nakvua. And they eat through the mountain. Menachem Pitzavari, and it falls on his neck. He wants to take it. So what happened? Well, and he can't get the mountain off.
The mountain is between his feet and his neck and his shoulders. He can't put it up, he can't put it down.
No, but the mountain was on his head. It falls down, now it's on his
Slips
shoulder.
through his teeth down.
Wearing big necklace.
Because it's easier to slip it down
can't
from the
get it
pressure.
off.
He can't get it up. Because his teeth are
Now
blocked.
it's like a choke.
Now you understand why it says in Agada, Hakir Shina.
Whoa, you just flew by me. One more time.
Tomorrow.
I have to say something.
Tomorrow.
Wait, tomorrow pizza is straight away from day to day. I can't wait till tomorrow.
After this year. But we got to keep on going.
So you can't get it off.
Shakespeare with this thing.
Behind the Dixiv, that's what it says, Shinir Shem Shibarta. Teeth of the wicked, you break. Like Shem ben Lakish says, Shem ben Lakish, my Dixiv Shinir Shem Shibarta. What's the meaning of the pasuk? He breaks the teeth of the wicked. I'll take a Shibarta, Shirvavta. He stretches out longer. The teeth of the wicked, he stretches out long, that they can't get the mountain necklace off. Moshe Kamahavi, how tall was Moshe? 10 amos. Chakal Narga, he takes an axe or a sword, a knife, that's 10 amos. Shiva Esramin, he jumped 10 amos. Machi Bekarsule Bekatli, and he hits him on his ankle and he kills him. What's the stone that Moshe was sitting on? That's every day Moshe Kved, and Moshe's hands were heavy, were tired. Takes a stone, puts it under him, and he sits on it. What's the wife of light? Shenemar says in the pasuk, his wife looked behind her, she turned into a pillar of stone. A pillar of salt. I'm sorry. The wall of Yericha that got swallowed into the ground, absorbed into the ksiv, the wall fell under it, underneath. We understand all of them, but they're miracles. But the light's wife turning into salt, that was a punishment. And we're surprised that we're saying a blessing for the punishment. My answer is Amar Baruch Dayan Emes. He doesn't. He says, "Blessed is the true judge." He says, but the Mishnah listed under the things that you're supposed to praise Hashem for. But you say it's like this. You see light in his wife. How do you see light?
By the fact that you see her salt, and you remember him as well, that he survived. Otherwise, how could you remind yourself of life?
Did we say before on light? Did we say?
No.
We just said alishtai.
No.
Now it's adding it in.
But he's saying, why is the shlach? So shlach is on light. He was saved miraculously.
That's not nice. Very nice. Chaim, today doing great. So, you say two blessings. Blessed is Hashem that remembers the tzaddikim. Okay. Why? Who's the tzaddik? Abraham Avinu. Because Abraham was. Because it was in his merit that. Sorry?
Does that mean you should remember the Lulas of all the tzaddiks?
Blessed is Hashem that remembers the tzaddikim. Even at the Hashem's anger, Hashem remembers the tzaddikim. Hashem destroys the cities of the plain. Hashem remembers Abraham. He saves light from the turning over. Let's go a drop further. The wall of Yerichai that got absorbed. The wall got absorbed. It fell down. It didn't get absorbed. There's a difference between falling and sinking. The wall fell under it. The people heard the sound of the shofar and the people screaming. Because its width and its height are equal. That means that it had to sink. It can't fall. If something is a square, it can't fall. Right? A square doesn't fall. It fall would be if it's taller. Or otherwise you have to lift it, topple it over. Right? So it must mean that it got absorbed into the ground. Okay, the next part will take us a little bit. So let's leave about.
Then you would because you could lift it out to people and then you would take it from the sun and you went straight down.
Yeah, but you could also learn that it fell at its base, collapsed at its base. I don't know.
We end up when the snow, when it got swollen, especially in the beginning, swollen.
Thank you.
What happened with Eily?
Thank you.